Hi, Brian Malow here, live from Lindau, Germany, a beautiful medieval island on Lake Constance in southern Germany. And it's the site of the 74th annual Lindau Nobel Laureate Meeting. And behind me is the Inselhalle, the conference center where much of the meeting takes place, including the opening ceremony that we just had a little while ago. And all this week, I'm going to be interviewing young scientists. We have 30 Nobel laureates here this week and more than 600 young scientists. And one of them is right here. Where is he? Mark John
Hi!
Mandigma, making a very grand entrance. And this year's a chemistry meeting, and you're a chemist, right? You identify as a chemist?
Last time I checked, yeah.
So what kind of chemist are you?
So I am an
No,
organic.
I meant good chemist or bad chemist. No, I'm serious.
Well,
I'm not serious. So
you
what
can
kind of
ask
chemist
my
are you?
supervisor.
Yeah.
So I am a hybrid chemist, so to speak. So I do wet chem, organic chemistry, and also computational chemistry on the side.
I have to tell you, I was always a good science student, and I was pre-med, and organic chemistry is what broke me. So
Oh,
that already makes me
I'm
a
so
little.
sorry.
Yeah, that's. I was good up until then, but so what does this mean? What do you actually do?
So my particular project right now is that we are trying to assemble molecules. So synthesis is the assemble of molecules of complex structures from simple ones. So kind of like having Lego pieces and then you stick them together. And yeah, that's organic synthesis on a molecular level. And we're trying to apply that to synthesis of useful materials such as OLEDs or medicinal chemistry or these in agriculture. Um, and yeah, and computational chemistry, on the other hand, so sorry, is that you use equations because chemistry is governed also by equations to predict and understand what will happen to a molecule. Because we can only compute so much in our mind, but we use supercomputers, HPCs, to do the calculations such that we would understand how those Lego pieces to stick together. So yeah.
Okay, little sidebar. OLED. You said OLEDs or OLEDs.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that
yeah,
it?
yeah.
So what is it? I see that in TVs. It's a type of LED. Is
Yeah,
that right?
yeah, yeah.
So
It's
what's
an
the O? Organic.
So organic light emitting diode. So basically, we not now, but in my previous uh, research, is that you have like a molecule that is organic in nature, so composed of carbons, hydrogens, and whatnot, and it actually has photophysical properties. It means it interacts with light. To put it simply, if you look around, we have trees, and they have pigments or organic molecules that makes them colored. These are actually the one interacting with light. No, similarly, the applications of such is photocatalysis or material science such as OLED, where it emits or interacts with light.
Okay.
So yeah.
Good answer. Thank you. So, have you always known that you wanted to be a scientist and a chemist in
Well,
particular?
I don't know if I know, but I think the people around me knows.
Yeah.
Because I don't know the concept of chemistry. What I know is that I'm curious. For example, I mix soy sauce with lotion, shampoo, and whatnot. It annoys my mom, but I was like, hold on, maybe this guy is into something. And what really draws my attention to chemistry, I don't know if you could guess it, bananas.
Bananas. I
Bananas.
could not guess it. Why?
it?
But why bananas?
It has something to do with the first chemistry textbook that I encountered, and the process is called Fischer esterification, one of the Nobel laureates back in the time, where you use an acid. I was reading the ingredient list. This is to synthesize banana flavoring called isoamyl acetate. And would you believe me that the ingredients for that would be acetic acid, vinegar? How come that vinegar can taste like a banana? And an alcohol. And you reflux it with another strong acid. And I was like, is this magic? Is this sorcery? And one thing led to another. I've interested in medicinal chemistry as well and whatnot, and say, hey, I think there is a field for this, and indeed that field is chemistry.
So there, and I want to invoke you sort of, is this magic? Is this sorcery? There's this famous quotation from Arthur C. Clarke: any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. And you basically drew the same connection there between the magic of chemistry and science versus sorcery. So, we just got here. I know it's the very first day, and all we've had is the opening ceremony. But, before you got, how long have you known that you were going to be an attendee here at the meeting? How long ago did you find out?
Gosh, I don't know. Because when I received
You are an attendee, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Just want to make sure.
I have the idea and everything.
It's been months, right?
Because it was so surreal that time. Yeah, I think it's been months. Yeah, I can't say specifically, but within this year. Yeah.
And did you have some anticipations about what the meeting would be like? Did you hopes for it? Any particular maybe laureates you wanted to meet?
Well, I was, of course, anticipating discussions like to shake their hands, like in real life, and not just reading it in a textbook. And yeah, I was also anticipating discussions with my colleagues. Right now, I don't know if it can be here, but I'm starting to lose my voice because I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Like, hi, hello, where are you from?
And it's only the first day.
It's only the first day. Could you imagine that? And then the program sometimes from 7 a.m. in the morning, I don't know, I have to check, until very, very late. I don't know. And yeah, I'm particularly interested in meeting Professor David Macmillan because of the two things that he did. He won the Nobel Prize for organocatalysis, so asymmetric induction. A lot of big words, but basically I'm dealing with some of those on my current project, but also because of one particular thing that he did after the Nobel Prize, and that is photocatalysis. We're talking about earlier the interaction of light and matter. I think it's the next big thing, mimicking Mother Nature and using it like they've been doing this for millions and millions of years. Trees synthesize the biggest chemist, and now we are able to do that in the lab. So I'm particularly interested in talking with him about this.
One little fascinating thing I learned at a previous chemistry meeting is that even though nature has a billion-year, head start, that artificial photosynthesis is already more efficient than photosynthesis in leaves. Is that true?
I didn't quite get that.
That our artificial...
you mean the one that...
we can already surpass the efficiency of a leaf.
I don't know about efficiency, but control. Because light and its interaction with matter is quite radical, I might say. Like when you shine light, all things happen, all sorts of things happen, and we don't understand what's happening. And if you have, say, a target molecule that you wanted to create, and you have like 15 other molecules that it decomposes to, the efficiency and the usability and practicability of this one is not useful. But nowadays, there are more connections that we can access using light, and we can control them because we understand them. And of course, also by the development of blue LEDs, which is also part of the Nobel Prize winning concept.
Nice.
Just by imagine that, people would say, what about blue LEDs? So it's just a color. No, it's actually having the efficiency of the light that it creates and having the efficiency that it used for display. That's the apparent thing. But another thing is that in chemistry, it also impacted us that we're developing new chemistries out of the other chemistries that was, or other sciences that was discovered by other scientists in other fields.
Oh, I just thought of something, and let me ask you. So we had red LEDs, and then we had green LEDs, but it was a significant later development when they finally got blue LEDs. Is that because blue light is a higher frequency, so it's more energetic, and it was hard to... Is that the key? Is that because it's a higher frequency?
Yeah, it's
higher energy?
Yeah, and it's because I think most of the emission, the previous one before the Nobel Prize winning blue LED, is that they were able to afford faint blue LED, but not the similar color because it's of the energy levels. But yeah, indeed,
Okay,
it's along the
interesting.
line.
So you're from the Philippines, right? But
Yes,
where are you working now?
I'm
At what
currently
level of your career are you at?
I am a PhD student
Great.
at the University of Bristol in the UK right now.
Excellent. And there are some themes for the meeting this year,
Mhm.
and one of them is about circular chemistry.
Right,
That what
right.
does that mean exactly?
Well, um, the name is an explanation of what it is. You know, when we think of circular chemistry, it's recycling. No, that's the common misconception. Circular chemistry is thinking about the whole process and making a loop out of it. It's not that you repurpose one thing over the other. Of thinking of the whole process from start to finish. Can we take, let's say, the wastes and put it back to maybe make it promote it into a more useful chemical, so to speak. So yeah, the concepts of sustainability comes to hand. So I hope everything's okay.
Yeah. Well, that was brief. Yeah.
But yeah, um,
Yeah.
well, if you're gonna put it, nature again is doing it. No pun intended, but the circle of life is what we're trying to emulate. So we were trying to study the process to make it, more efficient and at the same time more effective and sustainable, less waste. It's not just plain recycling. There's some
Okay.
principles behind it.
Well, excellent. Well, thanks for taking the time to chat with me. And
Sure.
we're at the beginning of a really fun week, I can assure you. And so have a great week. And thanks a lot. And we will be back with more live interviews from this 74th annual Lindau meeting.